The desert wind carried the smell of dust and dry mesquite as the sun settled low over Redstone Valley. Cowboys were finishing their work, pushing the last strays toward the corral, while the little frontier town prepared for another quiet evening. But for Elias Crow, nothing felt quiet inside. Not tonight. He stood beside his horse, Bootjack, running a hand along the saddle horn. His jaw was tight. His chest felt heavier than the evening air. Something was off, and he knew it, but he couldn't name it. Elias had traveled cattle trails, broken wild mustangs, and survived dust storms that had swallowed men whole. But the storm inside him, this one, he couldn't seem to outrun. "Why are you brooding out here alone?" a voice called. Elias turned to see Mae Delaney, the town's healer, stepping out of her little cabin near the creek, lantern swinging from her hand. She had a calm, steady way about her, like a river that kept flowing even when the rest of the world dried up. "Just thinking," Elias muttered. Mae smiled gently. "You're not thinking. You're feeling. And if I had to guess, you don't like the feeling much." Elias frowned. "Didn't know I was that easy to read." "You're not. But your horse is." She nodded toward Bootjack, whose ears twitched anxiously. Animals sense what people ignore. Elias didn't want to admit it, but she wasn't wrong. Earlier that afternoon, he'd snapped at his ranch hand for no reason, got irritated during the cattle count, felt restless, agitated, and disconnected, as if every thought pushed him further from the life he wanted. Mae walked closer. "Tell me what's stirring in you." He exhaled sharply. "Feels like everything's going wrong, like I'm riding against the wind, no matter what I do." Mae tilted her head. Elias blinked. "Tell me." "Feelings don't tell me anything. They just happen." "Ah," Mae said softly. "Then tonight's a good night to learn." She motioned for him to follow her to the creek. They sat on the wooden dock, letting the lantern's glow dance on the water. Behind them, faint music from Redstone's saloon drifted through the desert air. Mae rested her hands on her knees. "Elias, your emotions aren't random. They're a guidance system, your sixth sense. They tell you if your thoughts are taking you toward what you want, or away from it." Elias raised an eyebrow. "Like a compass?" "Exactly. A compass of the soul." He took that in for a moment. The water rippled gently beneath their boots. "So what does irritation mean?" Elias asked. Mae glanced at him. "It means your thoughts in that moment don't match what you actually want. You're facing upstream, pushing against the current. Your guidance system is saying, 'Turn around.'" Elias stared at the horizon. "Then what about the heaviness, the restlessness?" "Same thing. Those feelings show you the gap between where your thoughts are and where you want to be. They aren't punishments. They're indicators." Mae dipped her fingers into the water. "And good feelings ease, excitement. Hope they mean you've turned in the right direction. Duark." Elias let the silence settle between them. The weight in his chest shifted slightly, not gone, but understood in a new way. "So," he said slowly, "if a man keeps ignoring those indicators, then he wanders farther from the life he wants, not because life is against him." Elias swallowed. That hit deeper than he expected. The lantern flickered as a soft breeze moved across the creek. Elias looked down at his reflection, tired, frustrated, lost, and wondered how long he'd been riding upstream without realizing it. "Mae," he said quietly, "I can't keep living like this. Feels like I'm at war with myself half the time." "You're not at war," she said gently. "You're just ignoring your map." Elias breathed out. Then, how do I fix it? Mae smiled. Start small. Right now. What's one thought you can choose that feels even a little better than the one you're thinking? Elias tried. His first thought was, everything's falling apart. That felt heavy. But then he thought, maybe things aren't as broken as they seem. That felt slightly lighter. That one, Mae said softly, hearing the shift in his tone. Elias looked at her. That's all? Just choose a better feeling thought? For now, yes. It's like nudging a horse, you don't yank the reins. You guide gently. Elias chuckled. I suppose I'd never try to force Bootjack into a gallop when he's skittish. Exactly, Mae said. A warmth spread through Elias's chest, subtle but unmistakable. A sense of possibility he hadn't felt in months. Another breeze swept across the water. Somewhere in the distance, a coyote called out. Elias closed his eyes for a moment, letting the cool air pass over him. When he opened them again, he spoke quietly. Mae, I think I've been ignoring myself for a long time. She nodded. Most folks do, until life gets loud enough that they can't. They sat together, lantern glowing, water whispering against the dock, the sky deepening into scattered starlight. After a while, Elias stood and extended a hand to help Mae up. You didn't need me, she said warmly. Just needed to listen. Elias smiled, a real one this time. Then I reckon I'll keep practicing. He walked toward Bootjack, feeling lighter with each step, not because his life had changed, but because he had turned toward it. Before mounting his horse, he glanced back at Mae. What you said, about emotions being guidance. It makes sense. Maybe next time I feel that restlessness, instead of fighting it, I'll see what it's pointing me toward. Mae lifted her lantern in farewell. Good. Your guidance system always speaks. You just have to keep listening. Elias swung into the saddle. Bootjack snorted and shifted eagerly, sensing his rider's change in energy. They headed down the trail toward Redstone Valley, slow, steady, and with a quiet confidence Elias hadn't felt in a long while. As the stars brightened overhead, Elias felt something inside realign. Not a sudden burst of joy, but a gentle clarity, a subtle, peaceful knowing that he was finally following the current instead of resisting it. And the trail, for the first time in months, felt open again.